Tonight, we send you back to where we began from. And consistently, we have shown each and everyone the mindset of a man who came on a second term with an agenda portraying to reset Ghana and our economy, having an agenda of resetting the Republic of Ghana, putting Ghana on the map again, and making people believe that his main agenda to coming back to the seat of government was solely on the verge of putting Ghana on the map and resetting our corruption index in Ghana, resetting our border issues in Ghana, resetting the influx of illegal, irresponsible people in our country, resetting the criminal rate in our country, putting Ghana on back to the peace index where we have always been as first in West Africa. So many people who went on the 7th of December 2024 having a lot of hope, belief, joy running through their belly, believing that Ghana has found again a man who have come on the first term and has been able to do some one or two things which have painted him as a black omen to the people, and has come again because he has learned from his mistakes, and he has promised the people of Ghana that coming back again, I came back because I have listened to all your cries. I have understood why you voted me out when I wanted to come again. And now I am coming to you again on your doorsteps, doing day-to-day evangelism, door by door, and asking the people of Ghana to give him the second nod because he have understood why the people of Ghana were angry and voted him out of power and brought in Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. And now he has come again and saying that, please, I have understood all your reasons, and I am ready to come down to the level of Ghanaians to understand the economic difficulty Ghanaians are going through, to understand the rate at which people are dying day in and day out in my community in Ghana, to understand the reason why foreigners are trooping into our country and taking legitimate ownership of our retail business and taking ownership of our spaces where foreigners are entering into our country and are unaliving people day in and day out. The man said that I am coming back again because I want people to get jobs. I want people to, the standard of living of normal Ghanaians to raise up to a different level. And that is the reason why I'm coming again. If you listen to him very carefully, and if you look at his manifesto, it was appealing, it was touching, it was driven, and it took the minds of ordinary Ghanaians to believe that the man called John Dramani Mahama had a vision to save Ghana, and that vision was what people hoped for, what people believed in, what people were moved that he was able to sweep over the NPP government, a huge difference in terms of the history of politics in Ghana, a huge difference. And obviously, everybody was blown away. The hopes were high. The future of Ghana had been reset again because we have gotten a man who had just come into the political terrain again with the vision of resetting our country. What did Ghanaians believe in? Ghanaians had very huge hopes, huge belief in this gentleman who is called the president, the first gentleman of the country. But when he came to power, juxtaposing his entrance to what he is doing, there were certain things Ghanaians put on the table and were marking this man with. If he's been able to achieve all these things, because we know that the NDC government were in mad waters with Ghanaians. And so the only person they could project who can rewrite his mistakes was John Dramani Mahama. So giving him the next nod, the belief and the hope of ordinary Ghanaians put aside politics, put aside tribalism, the only hope of Ghanaians was for this man to come back and then tell Ghanaians that whatever I did wrong, I am going to make it right this time. But coming into office, consistently, the people of Ghana have been embraced with certain difficulties, which includes, I'm not going to broaden it, I'm just going to limit it to what I talk about on my platform, to border control, immigration issues, to security in our country, to foreign affairs. These are the things that I am just going to limit it to. I'm not going to broaden it. We have seen consistent insecurities in our country. I am going to do my analysis, and it will go and will end at a point, because I'm driving your mind towards a point. And in those times when we felt that Nanado's government, there were a lot of insecurities, even though we knew that some people were doing a lot of job backstage, like the IGP Dampari was doing a lot of job. But when we went ahead and then we allowed this gentleman into our land, we realized that consistently the insecurities of our country jumped from one stage to the other. We were in a country where people can just walk on the street and bring out guns and shoot people and die at once, and nobody cares. We were in a country where people were unable to open their shops till certain time in the night, because you can't continue to midnight. People will come and rob you, and will not just rob you, they will unalive you, and they will take everything in your shop, and they will go, and nobody will talk about it. So the insecurity rate in our country rose high. The adoncarism by the ex-government, the government at hand, who people have believed so much in, people from the diaspora, people in Ghana had believed so much in, that they were going to protect the Ghanaian people. They were going to listen to the voice of the voiceless people. They were going to listen to the poor people who were striving to even get one square meal. We thought that this government was going to be the listening ear for the Ghanaian people. So the hopes were high. We were in a country where in Sabo Zongo, armed men on motorbikes could drive to a restaurant and then shoot somebody, and then they can go scot-free, no investigation, nothing. We are in this country where we realize that the issue of cyber fraud had risen to the roof. And we have found that the number of people who were engaging themselves in cyber fraud, they were illegal, irresponsible people who had entered our country from nowhere, without no checks, without no security checks, and they've come into our country and they've turned Ghana into the hub where cyber fraud has been the order of the day. Insecurity, no checks, nothing. Again, we were in our country. We realized that people who were foreigners in our country were doing illegitimate business where the law was against them. They were taking the retail business into their own hands, but nobody talked about it. But the president came into office, and then during an engagement with the media, said on authority that he, as a president, was going to review the GIPC Act 625 to favor foreigners. That is the country that we were in. We were in this same country where we questioned why Guta would go to Abosiokai and close foreigner shops, but they will get order from above. They will get order from somebody else who is above them and tell them to go and reopen the shop. We were in the same Ghana where we realized that Guta had gone to Kumasi to go and close down shops of people who do not qualify to do retail business. But the president showed that he was on the side of the foreigners against the main Ghanaian people. We were in Ghana. We said so many times that our passport had become a chieftain, that foreigners who are unable to to travel from their own country because of their country being on the red flag of some other European communities, European countries. They travel to Ghana and then they make sure that they secure our passport, which is legit, which is pure, which is open, which is viable, which every country respects. They come to Ghana and then they purchase our passport and then they travel to different countries and commit crimes in the name of Ghana. We said it here, nobody listened, but there was a president, there was a foreign affairs minister. We were in this country. We realized that there was an unalignment in Nigeria where the Ghana embassy in Nigeria was, there is a lady who was unalived in that embassy, but nobody, no minister, no president, nobody born of a woman cared about it. They were silent. We were in this same country when we realized that Senegalese goalkeeper had come into our country and had been kidnapped and had been unalived, and ransoms were put on his head, and people are taking the money and they've chopped, and then they have unalived somebody's child, and the name of Ghana was on the internet for the bad reasons. Nobody talked about it. We were in this same country where we showed videos that the issues happening in Nigeria, where Trump has seen that Nigerians are unaliving poor Christians. Muslims are unaliving Christians day in and day out. And then people have become very vulnerable. And so people are begging for the mercy, for the United States of America to come and intervene. Because of that, Nigerians were trooping to Ghana on daily basis. We asked the president to intervene. Nothing has been done. Borders have been opened. Some sensible countries have closed their borders, but Ghana's borders have been opened without even thinking of when to close it temporarily so that we can look at our checks and see if we are viable to receive more visitors into our country. We have said it so many times. We've been able to give you analysis upon analysis upon analysis. We have said so many times, based on what we can see and the posture of the president, where he has been able to sit in this country, allow Bianca Ojugu to travel all the way from Nigeria to come and meet our foreign affairs minister, and have been able to question him why he allowed some people called Ghanaians to go on the street of Accra to go and demonstrate that Nigeria must go. Because of that, the foreign minister was able to push Ghanaians over the wall and tell the foreign minister of Nigeria that the people you saw on the street are not Ghanaians. They are not people who are citizens. Meanwhile, you know we are citizens. This is the country that we were in. We were in this country, and the president went to stand on a whole podium where nationals, European Union, every other country were watching our president, and he said on authority that nobody born of a woman in Nigeria is going to be deported from my country. We were in this country. We projected that there is an illegal criminal in our country called Chuku the Jude Ihienutu, and he has done all sort of nonsense in our country, and because of that, he should be deported. A man who is able to point and hit his hand on his chest and say to people that I've been able to deport 541 Nigerians by liaising, going to the ministry, the immigration ministry and department to be able to deport 541 Nigerians. We ask ourselves, who born dog? How did we get to this position where nobody is putting these people in order, in checks? It was time for us to go straight to do our citizen arrest until the president came to intervene. Where do we stand as a country? Everything projected, and this is where I bring my analysis and I do a bit of a tweak. Everything projected. When I came to sit on this platform and I told individuals that somebody has whispered to me, next time sitting here, that the president of the Republic of Ghana has an agenda, and the agenda that he has is that he wants to vie for a position in ECOWAS or African Union. And because of that, there is nothing any Ghanaian born of a woman who sits in Ghana or in abroad will say to him that is going to push him to act in favor of our Ghanaian brothers. But there is everything possible that will make the president act in favor of foreigners against Ghanaians, because he is putting his political career ahead of the safety and security of our people. If anything concerns any African country, and that African country is in the African Union, or that African country is in ECOWAS, the president of the Republic of Ghana reserves his own conscience not to interfere, because it is going to be a dent on his image as somebody who wants to chair the ECOWAS community or chair the African Union. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because today there has been a release. I have posted it on my story when I was at work. There has been a release, a letter from ECOWAS that has reaffirmed something I've said for 5 good months. I didn't know it was coming. It was a whisper that I got from the government, and I came to say it here. And tonight, there is an affirmation on the fact that ECOWAS is projecting John Dramani Mahama. ECOWAS, all the people of ECOWAS, they are projecting John Dramani Mahama to move into African Union as the next chairman of the African Union. Where were you 8 years under Akufo-Addo? I was here. Let nobody come and do politics. I am not doing politics. I'm speaking truth. I'm not going to even consider those comments. It's not really important. And I'm saying on authority, I'm going to post it here. Listen, you Ghanaians that are walking about and saying all sort of things, let me tell you, the president of the Republic of Ghana, currently, he is projecting his own career ahead than whatever we are feeling in ourselves as a country. The hardship Ghanaians are facing right now because of the influx of foreigners in our country, he does not care. And before I go on, I'm going to play you a video, and after the video, I'm going to post that letter, and we'll all read together.
I was speaking to President Obasanjo on Sunday, and we discussed the issue of free movement of people, and we suggested a list of 7 African countries that would be the League of African Free Movement. Is some amorphous name, we haven't decided yet. But those 7 countries, I'm going to write to all the presidents. We're going to start by removing visa requirements for our people. And so for those 7 countries, if any of our citizens want to travel to each other's countries, they won't require a visa. We expect that as others agree and join, we shall welcome them into our league until finally we have an Africa where our people can move freely without obstruction.
And as I say, nobody is here for politics. We are here for truth. The gentleman started putting out plans that he has put together to put some 7 countries together, some 7 African countries. Before even this letter came out today, he has started doing that because they've already promised him that they were going to push him to become the AU president, the AU chairman. So he started bringing out these affirmations. I'll do this, I'll do that. And he is doing that because he wants to please his paymasters. He wants to please them. All the people that come together to anonymously there is nobody to contain him. And the decision was made in a way that nobody can say that I'm come to contest that this country from ECOWAS will also want to be represented as a chairperson in AU in 2027. No. All the bodies that sat down, they all agreed once that the next person we have to project to become the AU chairman is John Dramani Mahama. Why? Because he had already pre-planned that is his position. He wants to go. So everything that he does, if it includes any African country, he was not going to touch any African country, because once he touched any African country, the traces are going to be there. People are going to see. People are going to see how he came out and then he spoke against Nigeria and said that Nigeria must go. People are going to come out and say that, is that John Dramani Mahama? Is that not the same person who came out to say that he was going to sack Nigerians? He sat on a United Nations platform and said that he was going to do this because he wanted to prevent those things. That is the very reason why he has never stood on any platform to say anything. And tonight, I want us to read the letter together. 8th ordinary session of the Council of Ministers, Abuja, December 12, 2025. Recommendation, blah, 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 blah. Recommendation on the support of the candidacy of the Republic of Ghana to the chairmanship of the African Union. The Council of Ministers. And this letter is dated today. Tinye. This letter is dated today. Mindful of the ECOWAS revised treaty as amended, particularly Article 10, 11, and 12, establishing the Council of Ministers and defining its composition and functions. Considering the request of the government of Ghana, considering the request. So it was government of Ghana that made the first request. Considering the request of government of Ghana for the support of member states for the candidacy of the Republic of Ghana to the chairmanship of the African Union in 2027. Considering also that the Republic of Ghana is an important ECOWAS member state and contributes to its international standings. Push this forward. Considering further the need to maintain and increase the chances of ECOWAS occupying positions in regional and international organizations, determined to work in a concerted manner to support the candidates of ECOWAS member states or their nationals in international organizations, including the African Union, in order to ensure that the interests of ECOWAS continue to be promoted and protected. Desiring to adopt a common position for effective support and voting in favor of the election of the Republic of Ghana to the chairmanship of the African Union 2027. We recommend that authorities or head of state and government adopt the declaration of support for the candidacy of the Republic of Ghana to the chairmanship of the African Union for the year 2027. Done at Abuja, December 12, 2025. His Excellency Alhaji Musa Timothy Kaba signed this for the council. Look at what is on your screen. This is a letter from the ECOWAS community. This is a letter from ECOWAS projecting the candidacy of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as a proposed candidate for the African Union Chairmanship in 2027. And if I tell you on authority that based on this political career trend that the president wanted to gain for himself, that is the very reason why he positioned himself in a way that he was not going to attack any Nigerian, anybody from the ECOWAS community, because if he raises a finger against any party who is part of the ECOWAS community, they were going to create a huge tension against his career to become an AU chairmanship. This thing I told you months ago. And I said that he wants to become a chairman either in ECOWAS or in AU. And today, the confirmation of what I said months ago has come to pass. The future of Ghana is in our own hands. It is today or never. Whatever we want Ghana to become tomorrow, we need to project it now, because everything shows that this man, John Dramani Mahama, has no future for Ghanaians. Everything shows that anything you do on the street, whatever thing you say, whatever thing you project, whatever stories you say on the street, he does not care. All he cares is that he will be able to protect his family, protect his party, and to be able to promote his own political ideologies and political career. And Ghana, you are dying because he does not care about you. You are always making noise that Ghana is not safe. Ghana is not safe. He has heard it. He has seen it. But if he touches anybody in the country, he's going to be in trouble. I sat here and I told you that President John Dramani Mahama has a political ambition to become an AU president. Or can he say, Nestana, I'm reliably informed by XYZ, or a minister, that Olumai, a friend Olumai, has a political ambition to become the ECOWAS chairman or African Union chairman. And so what we are doing, attacking Nigerians, Alatarians, attacking Chukude, it is going to worry Olumai in the near future. So Olumai coming in the last minute to stop all the things you are doing was because he's looking at an opportunity to become the ECOWAS chairman or the African Union chairman. Therefore, he'll come in and stop us from continuously moving on the street of Nigeria, forcing Tinubu to send Bianca to come to Ghana to come and ask why. Secondly, let me show you this. I don't know how I can zoom this very well, but oh, no, mine. But me to me zoom in, but anybody can see. Look at what is on your screen. A role Odulowa Olefin Adimula Oni Adeyeye anytime Babatunde Ogunwusi request the honor of your presence to the installation ceremony. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, as the Ari Atayeto Odua of the Source, the President who recognizes the global space for humanity. On Monday, 15th of December 2025, exactly 11 a.m., at Ile Oduduwa Oni's Palace, which is 3 p.m. 3 p.m., there will be Ojaja at Ojaja Arena in Ife Grand Resort, Ile Ife in Osun State. It was from the thing and say invitation here that was screen. So this invitation is from Nigerian Palace B, inviting the President of the Republic of Ghana, to come to Nigeria to be installed as the Are Otayeto Udua of the source, which literally means a president who recognizes the global space for humanity. And this is going to happen in Nigeria. Give me 3 billion reasons why this man called John Dramani Mahama is ever going to rise against the atrocities of Nigerians in our land. Give me reasons why, after his installation, and look at the title they gave to him. Give me reasons why, after his installation, he will continuously protect the people of Ghana. Give me reasons. Because everything has shown clearly that after he's been installed as the chief of an Osun state in Nigeria, forget it. We are gone. Once he has been installed, forget it. Whatever we do as a community, it will never work. Whatever we do as Ghanaians, it will never work because his lineage is drifting towards the side of Nigerians. And you know, people come and talk here and there, and an Estana, and you are being xenophobic, and an Estana, and you are attacking Nigerians too much, and an Estana, you are doing this too much. I am protecting my bloody country. You can also go and project and protect your own country in your own way. But what I've said gives everybody an impression, and it gives everybody a whole guideline as to what and why the president is not speaking about the agenda we have projected for months. Because he wants to become the African Union Chairman. Because he wants to become the Ogun of what in Nigeria. Coming 15 December, they are going to install him. And when they install him, it means that he's now having chieftaincy titles in 2 states in Nigeria. Nagawa and Nagawa in Nigeria. Nigeria for. Your allegiance will be moving towards that side. And that is the state at which we are in now. When I got this information, I was a bit sad, but obviously it's life. And into no, we are going now to not the fight that you were fighting. You relaxed, and then you felt that, oh, Charlie, I didn't we were there. I didn't Massa, we are joking. We are far gone. The country is far gone. If you all want us to give up for Ghana to die, then say it. Let us all walk backwards. Go and stay. Put our guns and our tools aside, and let's watch the Ghana go through the mud. Because access and no man for any home. That is how I feel, that the burning sensation in the hearts of people. People have given up on the fight. People are sleeping. People have just gone back and they are doing that lumba or the broni. People are doing other things which are unnecessary, which do not bring any development to the country.